execution method. Now, the controversy about lethal injection is because I think a lot of countries, wherever they get the actual injection, the actual medicine that will kill you,
Mhm.
a lot of places who are against the death penalty had just stopped supplying it to the United States. And so it's making it harder and harder for them to get. So from here on out, if for whatever reason the state cannot execute you by lethal injection, they're looking at other options. If you're in South Carolina, it's either the electric chair or the firing squad.
The fire
And
squad.
firing squad.
Okay.
Let's see.
So the
All
fire.
right.
Explain that, Doc. The fire. What exactly do they do?
Excuse me?
The firing squad.
A firing squad. Basically, you are tied to, I think, a wooden post. You're
Mhm.
blindfolded.
Mhm.
And there are, I would say, 6 men, sharpshooters, with, I believe, rifles. And you are basically executed by a firing squad. Now, this sounds like something out of the Wild Wild West.
Yes, that's where I was
Might be
going.
a little
That's
far
where I was
away.
going.
But you have to realize that the death penalty period, until they came up with lethal injection, I mean, that seemed, of all the choices, that seemed the most humane. Let us not forget you had the gas chamber, you had hanging, you had stoning. We still have, some states still have the electric chair. And now they want to bring back the firing squad. Now, whether you're for or against the death penalty, I'm not sure. But we have found out time and time again that there have been men, women,
Mhm.
people of color
Mhm.
who have been executed only to find out through DNA or any other testing they were totally innocent. My other question about the death penalty is if, in fact, it is God's law to not murder, if it is against the law, United States of America, city, state, whatever, to murder, what gives the federal government the right to murder? If I kill you, what gives the federal government the right to kill me? There are a lot of movements to have the death penalty abolished, but that's probably going to take some time. But right now, if you're in South Carolina, those are your two options. Electric chair, sit in the chair and fry, or firing squad. You're basically assassinated by 6 sharpshooter rifles running through your body. And it has been proven that the death penalty is not necessarily a deterrent to crime because back in the day, the death penalties were done publicly, the hangings. So therefore, that was a deterrent because people actually got to see what would happen to them if they committed such and such a crime. And that would make anybody else thinking about committing that crime. No, I better not do that. But now that it's behind the scenes and you don't get to see it, it's a little different take on that. City city court.
Comment up there. I'm sorry, Doc.
What happened to just rotting in jail? In a sense, all our inmates are rotting in jail. Because from my understanding, I don't think there's anything in the correctional mass incarceration system that is in place to make you come out a better person. You're in prison, you're eating institution food, you're working out at the gym, you're around hardened criminals, and you're basically damaged when you come out. And to have somebody in jail the rest of their life, now mind you, the question is, if somebody murdered, my son, your daughter, damn right you ready for the death penalty. They took yours, you ready to take theirs.
Absolutely.
So it's a debate that's going to be going on for quite some time. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen that are on the show, Philly Unfiltered, I'm just going to run through the news with everything that I have. We can come back and talk about these topics a little more in detail if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I got next here. Next up, I have. Hold on a second.
So for what you was just talking about, Doc, I didn't have any words, but I got a sound effect.
Yeah, it's definitely Twilight Zone.
That's scary.
Absolutely.
I can't.
That's okay. That's all right.
What else we got, Doc?
Mark your calendars. December 6th is the Taser trial. The former police officer who killed Dante Wright, a 20-year-old black man, is set to go on trial December 6th after a court judge decided that there was probable cause for the case to move forward. Former Brooklyn Center officer Ken Potter is charged with second-degree manslaughter in the fatal shooting of Dante Wright. Now, this is the officer that claimed she meant to reach for her taser and she grabbed her gun instead and accidentally killed him. Now, this has happened on numerous occasions. Dante Wright is not the first who have been shot, killed. Officer claims he was going for his taser and then wind up shooting him. I've heard different scenarios as to the wearing of the taser. Some say that the taser should be on one side of your body and then your service weapon, the gun, on another side. But I don't care if they're back to back on the same side, different sides, whatever. I'm quite sure you know the difference between a taser
and a gun.
And if you have a taser and a gun, I don't hear a lot of men getting tased as opposed to getting shot and killed.
At all.
I think a lot of those situations, if you have tased a person, you could probably bring them under control, handcuff them, do whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like the philosophy is shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
You know you love them. You know you miss them. Guess who's back?
Oh, who's this?
Phil thinks he's president is bringing back his rallies next month. So he is coming out. He is coming out of the Twilight Zone, out of his rabbit hole, and he will be back on the scene. Now, Donald J. Trump, the Orange Man, the cheetah president, whatever you call him. This is an exact quote from him. I love my previous life. That was before he became president. He says, I love my previous life. I had so many things going. This is more work than in my previous life. He told Reuters magazine in 2017 once he became president. He thought it would be easier. But on the other side, what he did like about being president of the United States was the power. He especially loved holding rallies where his supporters would hang on his every comprehensible word. And aside, he liked the authoritarian. Of course, he likes all the attention. I guess the Republican Party has to decide what are they going to do in 2024 with Mr. Trump or whoever their candidate is going to be. So he will be back soon. And keep in mind, your social media, your TV, your radio does have an off switch.
That's how I.
That's okay. That's okay. Now, long ago and far away, before, I guess around the time of the pandemic, and they started talking about the vaccine. When we heard about the vaccine, a lot of us got a little nervous, a little uncomfortable, because we had heard long ago, far away, prophecy, whatever you want to call it, that it was in their plan to implant these chips into our body. And many people felt as though with the pandemic and COVID and the vaccine, this is how they were going to do it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this just in. IBM says it has created the world's smallest and most powerful microchip. The semiconductors industry constant challenge is to make the microchips that are smaller, faster, more powerful, and more energy efficient simultaneously. On Thursday, IBM announced that it has created a 2 nanometer chip, the smallest, most powerful microchip developed. So we'll see how this microchip plays out, what it is going to be used for. But we will see.
Can I hit my button?
Let's see. Was it Tuesday we were doing the commemoration to move?
Can I hit my button?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't have no words. I got sound effects for tonight.
That's okay.
Sound
That's
effects.
okay.
That's all I got. I got sound.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, y'all. That's my dryer in the back.
Still gotta get work done, Supermom.
Yes, but yes, Doc, that was no, that was Thursday. Thursday we did the show on the 1985 move bombing. Yes.
Okay, I apologize. So yes, on Thursday was the 36th anniversary of the move bombing. We talked about that. Andrea had some awesome clips to kind of pull up. Well, May 31st will mark the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa race massacre, also known as Black Wall Street. Tulsa, Oklahoma has been coming back. They are planning major celebrations for the 100th anniversary. So for those that don't know, Virginia Goodwin, a fourth generation resident of historic Greenwood, Oklahoma, still remembers the stories of her grandparents told her about one of the most horrific incidents of racial violence in the United States. Incited by a claim that a Black man was assaulted by a white woman in an elevator, it said that the white mob threatened to lynch the suspect. When Black residents, some of them World War I veterans, showed up at the courthouse to protect the detained man, they found themselves face to face with the mob. Gunshots were fired as white vigilantes attacked the nearly African-American area of Greenwood over a period of 2 days, beginning May 31st, 1921. They looted and rioted, burned Greenwood down to the ground. Several planes were seen raining bombs on buildings, with an estimated 15 homes and 1,600 plus businesses destroyed. Approximately 10,000 people left homeless. Black people were murdered and burned alive. They were told to come out with their hands up. We won't shoot. And they come out with their hands up and be murdered. Now, this is a thriving community. Black-owned businesses were doing very well, not dependent on the establishment, but it became successful. And eventually they decided to burn it down. So May 31st will be the 100th anniversary of that. There's going to be a lot of celebrations in around that area to play tribute to that.
That's awesome.
If you remember a lot of the protests out of the George Floyd murder, where there was a police officer who was pepper spraying some of the protesters. He was actually seen on camera lifting up the protesters' face mask or whatever they had covering his face so that they could get the full effect of the pepper spray. Well, a Philadelphia judge dismissed all charges against former SWAT officer Richard Nicoletti, who was seen on video pepper spraying protesters on I-676 during unrest following the George Floyd's death last May. The municipal court judge, Austin Meehan, ruled Monday that Nicoletti had been authorized by his commanders to clear the highway during protests over the death of George Floyd and had been given pepper spray as a tool to do so. So once again, this is a case where police are kind of going above and beyond the law, not in a good way. They are being charged, and then charges are dropped. District Attorney Larry Krasner said he filed vigorously to pursue the case, meaning he will follow up on that as well. Speaking of Larry Krasner, today was a primary election for district attorneys, Supreme Court judges in Pennsylvania, common pleas judges. There were some ballot questions, people running for judges of elections. But I think the high profile races were the Philadelphia DA race. Larry Krasner, who is our current district attorney, Carlos Vega, who is running against Larry Krasner, and Chuck Peruto is running as district attorney as a Republican. The polls closed at 8 o'clock. I'm quite sure, I don't think they have the results in as of yet, but soon we will find out. If it is Larry Krasner, if it's Carlos Vega, Chuck Peruto, I heard earlier, I'm not sure if it's from a reliable source, but I did hear that Chuck Peruto, who's running for DA, the Republican, had said if Vega wins the primary, that he will drop out of the race. Now, the primary tonight, when you voted today, hopefully everybody voted, when you voted for Larry Krasner or...
That was my dry ear, I'm sorry.
That's okay. If when you voted hopefully for either Larry Krasner, Carlos Vega, or Chuck Peruto. Now, this is the primary. So if Larry Krasner gets a bulk of the votes, chances are he will run against Chuck Peruto in, I guess, November. If Carlos Vega wins the primary tonight, Chuck Peruto said he will drop out of the race, meaning Carlos Vega will be our new DA. So we'll have to see what the results comes in later on this evening and see how that goes.
And I wanted to say something about that because I was having a conversation with my best friend, and she made a very valid point. This election, like how much did we really know and hear about it? Like the people that were running, and maybe it's just me, but it just seemed like all of a sudden I just see all of these signs with different names and things like that. Like when we did the protest, Doc, and the guy Vega was there, and we both were like, well, who was this guy all dressed up? You know, and that's when we found out who he was. But it's still like, what do we really know about these people? So it's like, if you voted today, who did you vote for, and what do you know about these people?
And what did you base your vote on?
Yeah.
Because as I always talk about, I don't care who you vote for, just do your homework. Because what happens is these candidates run, whether it's, district attorney, mayor, dog catcher, city council, mayor, president, governor, they will get up there and, promise you the world. But what you have to do is, Larry Krasner has been kind of in the news off and on for quite a while. He's been catching a lot of heat, doing a lot of good things in the community. Backstory, when Larry Krasner took office as a Philadelphia district attorney, he felt as though there was a lot of corruption in the district attorney's office. So he basically cleaned house. He basically got rid of over 35 prosecutors that were in the DA office that he felt as though were toxic. Carlos Vega was one of the primary prosecutors. So he basically got fired, got his walking papers from Larry Krasner at that point, and is now running against Larry Krasner. But you're right. When you make a point, as we get closer to election, all of a sudden we hear about this person's running for president, this person's running for district attorney, and we don't know a lot about them at all. Fairly close. Like I said, as you mentioned, Andrea, when we saw Carlos Vega at that community event, that's the first time I ever heard of him.
Uh-huh.
I had never seen him before.
Right.
But at that point, my antenna went up and said, okay, let me start researching this guy, more about him, because, I know a little bit about Larry Krasner, but I don't know a lot about Carlos Vega. And as I began to dig and share my information, what I found with, our followers and loyal supporters on Philly Unfiltered, I shared that information as well. And we all know there's a lot of people of color that don't vote. And for those that don't come out and vote, we are the ones that are going to be hugely impacted by this district attorney's race, by many of the races. Although we don't vote, we're basically the ones that are going to be impacted and be on the receiving end or not on the receiving end of any legislation or things that they're trying to push forward. I also mentioned with the DA's race is that a lot of people in Philadelphia are highly upset with a number of things, with the rate of gun violence in Philadelphia, with the shootings, with the killings. It just seems like it won't stop. So everybody is kind of up in arms. They're mad at the mayor. They're mad at the commissioner. They're mad at the DA for them to do more. But at that point, I kind of see Larry Krasner as being kind of a scapegoat. Number one, Mayor Kinney was not on the ballot today. The police commissioner was appointed by the mayor, so her job is not in jeopardy today. The gentleman's job that is in jeopardy or basically up for grabs is Larry Krasner. So a lot of people may go to the poll saying, somebody go. Can't get rid of the mayor, I can't get rid of the police commissioner. Okay, the DA is up for vote for re-election. Okay, you gotta go. But as I mentioned before, don't you look at his track record, what he has done. Look at Vega's track record, what has he done? Not what he's saying recently. Look at 35 years ago. Okay, if he got kicked out of the office 35 years ago, what has he done since those 35 years since he left the district attorney's office? Sean King, one of the guys I follow online, awesome brother. He was in Philadelphia helping canvass for Larry Krasner. He brought two men with him. One is Anthony Wright. Anthony Wright was framed by the police, served over 25 years in jail. The prosecutor was Carlos Vega, and the Innocent Project got Anthony Wright out of jail. He is now a free man. He sued the city. He got a $10 million settlement from the city of Philadelphia. But see, your point is that like we're just finding out about these people.
Yeah, because you don't really and to go back to the comment that Anisha Benelli made. Shout out to Anisha, who's always here to support us from day one. She says the elections that matter are never televised. And that's true. Like we all know that the presidential, election is they make that the most important, but it's really, really not. They are all as important. Each time we have to vote, it's just as important as a regular presidential vote. So Anisha's absolutely right. I really don't remember seeing a lot of stuff about, you'll hear it here and there, we'll make mention of it, but and the people, like, who are these people? So when you did go vote, when you got into that booth, what were you doing? Were you just looking, or did you vote for everybody that was a Democrat? Which is really not always the best thing to do. So these elections is real. They be life or death, y'all. Like for real.
The thing is that, like you said, these elections that matter are not televised. And there's a reason for that. The commercials, the television comments, the debates, they're very, very expensive. You look at how many people in Philadelphia actually know who their city council person is. Even if you know your city council person, when was the last time you seen them? Have you been by their office? When's the last time you voted for a representative or a senator, meaning their office in Harrisburg? When's the last time you voted for a United States House of Representatives or a senator? Chances are, whether you voted them or not, they got elected to office. Senator is off, a United States senator is office for 6 years. You know how often you're going to see him or her? Every 6 years. When their 6 years are up, they're going to come out, talk about their senator, I'm your senator, this is what I've been doing for you in Washington, I'm up for re-election, I need you to vote for me. You vote for them, they disappear another 6 years. That's why anytime I go out to a community event, the first thing I'm looking for is, where are the elected officials?
You say that all the time, Doc.
Do I see my city council person? No. Do I see my state rep? No. Do I see my governor? No. But when you put in office, whether I voted for you or not, you are there to do the people's business, to vote for what the people want. But if the people don't see you, you're not talking to the people.
Mhm.
How do you know what we want? How do we know you can trust you?
Yeah,
It's like,
that's before you
well,
go ahead, Doc. I'm sorry.
just like when Jamal was out there with the hunger strike.
Mhm. And I was
How
just
many city council people came to support him?
yep, and Anisha,
Why did it take the mayor so long to come out and actually talk to him?
and
And he's right at City Hall. You can't say you can miss him. You walk by him every day, or you come in the other way so you don't have to see him.
yep. And look, Anisha said the same thing. The only time I saw council members were the two that came out to support Jamal's hunger strike. And the thing about that is they came out on the second one.
Right.
He had already been out there one time before for what, 27 days, 26 days?
27 days.
He had already been out there one time before, but we didn't hear about him until his second time
Mm-hmm.
being out there. And Miss Anisha Benelli, she contacted Fox 29 News. And I don't care what nobody say. I'm a firm believer that she is the reason why Fox 29 went out there and did that interview with Jamal Johnson until somebody else proved me wrong, because I saw the email that she sent and I saw the return email for the confirmation. So unless y'all prove me wrong, and people need to stop trying to take credit for it, but Anisha Benelli is the person. I believe in my heart and in my spirit that she is the reason that Fox 29 went out there and did that interview with Jamal Johnson. And that's on period.
Right. And that's on facts, because when we walk around and we see things that are going, the news people can't be everywhere,
Right.
and they can't cover every story.
Absolutely.
They're chasing the shootings, the killings, and all the bad news. But if, shout out to
You're
Anisha, when she sees something,
Mm-hmm.
she brings it to their attention.
Mm-hmm.
Same way, we bombarded Fox to tell them about Anna McNeil.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We can be reporters too. Hey, y'all is missing something. Y'all need to follow this guy. Y'all
Yeah.
need to do something.
Yeah. Y'all report for everything else.
Right.
Y'all
So when we
report for
see
everything
something,
else.
that's the type of thing. And not only that, when we go to the news media and they don't respond, we record that too.
Yep. Absolutely. And I've seen a lot of I grew up watching the news. My dad turned that on in the morning before he went to work and when he came home. And I've seen so many stories when, y'all call the news for the city issues when there's too much trash next to your house.
Mm-hmm.
You want Fox 29 to come look at this damn trash. If it's too many potholes in the city and it keeps messing up your vehicle, now y'all want to call Fox 29 because there's too many damn holes in the street.
Right.
But y'all can't call Fox 29 or email Fox 29 to tell them that there are some very, very important, positive Black people doing some really positive things to change the community. Like this man went on a hunger strike twice. Y'all was eating and it was cold. It was cold. It was cold.
Right. Out there by himself, by his lonesome. One man.
Himself.
One man. He ain't have a whole army.
He did not.
One man.
He did not. And when I went out there to do that interview, it was just like, listen, that spirit hit me. Said you got to go. It was me, him, and two other people. I think that's where I met Miss Bridget Powell. She's a member of the faith organization. And like he said, you see who out here.
Right.
See who out here. And as soon as this woman emailed Fox 29 and he was on camera, now everybody else want to show up on camera and take credit.
Right.
And I'm gonna fix my glasses because I see a lot of recognition for someone who gave no recognition for Mr. Jamal Johnson. While he was out in the cold, other people was in the warmth.
Right. And if you remember, Andrea, I almost didn't want you to do that interview. You remember that? Why didn't I want you to do that interview?
With Jamal Johnson?
Yep.
I don't remember why.
Jamal Johnson was out there and he had posted something the night before. He was walking down the street and I'm sick and tired of people coming down here questioning me about what I'm doing. Don't ask me no damn questions. Did you ask the mayor anything? Did you ask city council anything? And from that post, that's why I sent it to you, because I think I asked you if you had confirmed him for, I guess, Tuesday night. And then I asked you, did you see Jamal's post? Because if he's telling, don't come down here and ask me no questions. I'm like, you know, that's because at that point,
it's really unfiltered for a reason, and it wasn't meant for me to see that post, because I would have came down there any damn way. Because if I got a question, what is the point? What would be the point of that? We need to know, because other people, for one, they don't know that you're here.
Right.
So I'm here to tell them that you're here and why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got the why. Okay, you here, and now we can tell them ain't nothing happening while you here.
Absolutely.
You know, like, come on, man. We got
not only that,
and I'm gonna do some comments.
He was at City Hall Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday and Sunday, he was at Mayor Kenny's house outside with his bullhorn, calling him out. Every day, all day.
Well, and people still
right by him like anything
for things that he's done. So we gonna go to the comments real quick. Anisha Benelli said, I may not always be able to be present, but I do try to support it any way I can if it's for a good cause. That's absolutely why we do this. Because we don't always have to be there in the present. Like, it's enough streaming and social networks for us to be everywhere without physically being there. So that was absolutely true. Tip to getting news coverage: email the station and state what should be covered in the story. Oh, helps if you name drop a reporter when sending the email. That's very, very true. That's very, very true. You always got
that's key, because some reporters are more receptive than others. You know, so
like Shawnette Wilson, she's more receptive. I see her name. You know, even with Adam, I think I had sent her something, and I think you sent her something, and I believe that's who Anisha had, reached out to. So reach out to Shawnette Wilson. And also, before we get too further into what we're talking about, I wanted to go back for a second when we were talking about the state reps and the voting and things like that. So what I did, Miss Philly Unfiltered. Okay. I don't know if anybody knows, and maybe you do know, if you've heard of State Representative Jordan Harris. See, he lives in South Philadelphia. He's a state representative hold on. He is at the 186th legislative district. State Representative Jordan Harris, right?
Right.
So I used to work with Mr. Jordan Harris.
Okay.
Many years ago. So what I did was I reached out to him before the show, and I explained to him what we do here. And he agreed to come on. So we will have a state representative on Philly Unfiltered. And I'm going to put that flyer out early. If y'all got questions, then it's time to question your state representative. Like Doc always saying, I'm going to go full screen for this, because one thing that y'all know for sure that we do on Philly Unfiltered, yes, we are unapologetically opinionated, but we also give y'all resources and we give y'all facts and things like that. So as we speak of getting to know your state reps and things like that, we've reached out to one and we're going to bring him to you. So now is the time for you to write down your questions and ask your questions for your state representative. Because I know a lot of people, is always an excuse. Like, Doc, you know, when you say you need to know your state reps and this, that, and the other, oh, I don't know where to go. I don't know X, Y, and Z. Well, y'all need to come to Philly Unfiltered, because we about to have one. But you can ask any question you want. Right. And it's a black man He's a black man. Because I know y'all, oh, I don't want no white man. Listen here, black man
Mhm.
in South Philadelphia.
Right,
So, and he's coming soon. I'm gonna try to get him before this month is out.
right.
You know what I mean? Because it was last minute when I inboxed him tonight. So I'm gonna try to get him here as soon as possible. So y'all get y'all questions ready so y'all can ask a real state rep. He not new. He not new to this. He
Right.
been a state rep for a couple of years. So this is not somebody that's coming in, that want to get their foot in. So they're gonna say what y'all think what they think you want to hear to get their foot in the door. He's been a state rep for years now.
Right.
So listen, we got
What I
you.
would encourage people to do, I guess, even before they get to the questions, is basically
Oh, that was for Shawnette Wilson. She said Miss Wilson is the truth.
what I would like people to do is basically think about yourself, think about your family, think about your community, and think about your city. I want you to write down what are the 5 most important issues that are important to you and your family. Once you write those 5 top issues down, it could be gun violence, it could be education, it could be homelessness, it could be healthcare, whatever it is. Write down the top 5 issues that are important to you and your well-being, your family, and your community.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to hang on to that because what I want you to do is I want you to develop a political report card. And you will use this anytime you hear that someone is running for office. Because these are core issues that are important to you. So therefore, they're not going to change because you're talking to a district attorney. They're not going to change because you're talking to a mayor. They're not going to change because you're voting for a president. Your core issues, what are important to you, cover all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Once you write them down, what I want you to do then is write down what you know about a state rep or what you think about a state rep.
And I want to cut in right there because we have a comment just for that. Dakota Parker said, I just learned about what the state representative can help the community with. Listen, that's a valuable comment. And listen, and it ain't no shame. She just learned what they can do. Some of y'all won't research it. Some of y'all still don't know. And she's a young lady. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of older people that still don't know what the state reps can help with. So shout out to you, Mr. Dakota Parker, for that. Just doing that part.
Council, state reps, I tell you, you walk past their office, there is so much information that they can help you with.
Mm-hmm.
Another key thing is your state rep's office. 9 times out of 10, when you go there, that state rep, that elected official will not be there. Why won't they be there? They're in Harrisburg. They're in Washington. They have to divvy their time between the district that they represent and getting legislation passed in Harrisburg or Washington. But this is what you do. You go to the state rep's office and just general information. I've never been before here. I've never been here before. What does the state rep do? What can you help me with? What type of service do you have? I may need some things. My neighbor may need some things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very key. The receptionist, when you walk in the door, the person that greets you, that says hello, learn that person's name.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person is going to be your best friend. Why is that person going to be your best friend? It's because when the state rep comes back from Harrisburg, comes back to Washington, to his local Philadelphia office, that office sets his agenda. Which community meeting he needs to go to, what graduation he's supposed to speak at, all the events here in Philadelphia. So if you get in good with the receptionist, when he comes in and you have an issue, whether it be housing or unemployment, or you didn't get your stimulus, whatever your issue may be, they will put in a word for you. Oh, State Representative Jenkins, oh, you need to talk to Ms. Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
She's been down here about 10, 20 times. You need to talk to her. She's got a serious problem. Because
Yeah.
if you keep going there getting mad because the state rep isn't there, it's not going to get done. And I'm telling you how to go around that because it happened. This is kind of how a situation that I had as well. So
Absolutely.
the type of thing where that is what my suggestions as to when you go to drafting your questions and what you want to know. Number one, write down 5 major issues that are key to you, your family, your community. Then brainstorm, write down what you know about a state rep, what you think a state rep does. Why would you need a state rep?
Yep. And if you know what they do, then you can know what type of questions to ask.
And
You
after
know?
you've done that, one last thing.
Hmm.
I'm giving people homework.
Yes, write this
I'm
down.
giving people homework.
Yes, write this down.
After you've done all of that, I need you to do me a favor. Go to State Rep Jordan's website
Hmm.
because all his information is there.
Yep. And I'm about to, you know what? I got something.
Because it's just like having an author on the show. You read the book, shows you've done your homework. Let's say if I sit here and I write the top 5 issues that are crucial to me: education, gun violence, jobs, healthcare. And I go to his website, I don't see anything on education. I don't see anything on gun violence. I don't think see anything on healthcare. That might be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we do have another comment. Anisha Benelli said that's a question I would want to ask. If you're in a position that's supposed to benefit the people, then why don't we know about legislation they're passing and what's it for and what's it's for? And why does the public not have a say in legislation? That is a very, very great question. So, and also, Doc, because I got something. Hold on. Got something for y'all real quick. Like Doc was saying, if you want to know, about Jordan Harris, your state representative, if you go on his Facebook page, you will find all of his information. Um, so he will be coming to the show. Get your questions ready. This is, if you can see this is something I just got off of his page. And May 22nd, they're having a shredding event. That's when they shred all of your important documents and paperwork. They've been having these things for years. Like, I always remember seeing them. It's always been a really, really huge event. When people get to take their paperwork and stuff down there and they shred it or whatever. So this is an event that they are having on May 22nd, 1310 Point Breeze Avenue in Philadelphia. His name is right here, Jordan A. Harris, 186th Legislative District. This is your rep. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram, Twitter. This is all his stuff, his email. This his credentials right here. No more excuses. No more excuses. That's one of the many reasons why Doc and I did Philly Unfiltered, and we continue to do Philly Unfiltered. Because for one, me personally, I can't speak for Doc. I can only speak for me. I am tired of the damn excuses. We have too many resources for us to still give all these excuses on why we can't. We can do whatever the hell we want to do. Like, I want my Black people to really understand the type of power that we have and that we just sleeping on. We just letting it go to waste. But we're having children and we're not teaching them about their power. So then it continues to go to waste, and we have to stop blaming other people. You got 2 Black people right here giving you direct information to a state rep. He already in there. Like, come on. We got to show them that we want to change. We can't have the same people right in the state rep. Like, I know it's probably like 5 people. They know they're going to get a letter. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Every election is somebody in the community that they know that they're going to get a letter from. Let's become them people. Let's irritate the hell out of them. Respectfully. If we want change, we got to do something. We have to do something. And that's absolutely the only way. So yeah, y'all definitely write down these questions, and I'm really we really gonna try to get him in here by the end of this month. Since the election just happened, so if he can hopefully come in here before the end of the month. So yeah.
And also keep in mind, I mean, just because Jordan Harris is a state rep and his primary district is South Philadelphia, I mean, this is still an inside track into how Harrisburg works.
Hmm.
Because here in Philadelphia, we may have some indication how city council works. But when you go to Harrisburg, you have to realize you have to look at the whole state. And I learned this when we were fighting for funding for education.
Hmm.
And the Philadelphia School District was asking for $300 million. So buses upon buses upon buses went up to Harrisburg to basically lobby state reps, talk to state reps, to kind of get the governor to understand, our plight. And as soon as we got there, they let us know that, well, we have 32 other districts in the state of Pennsylvania that are in a lot worse shape than Philadelphia.
Hmm.
Because when you go to Harrisburg, it's not about Philadelphia, it's about the whole state of Pennsylvania. And as we met with state reps in Harrisburg, they told us time and time again, we hear you, we feel you, we understand you. But at that time, I don't know if it shifted, the Congress in Harrisburg is Republican run, meaning
Hmm.
basically they have a majority. So they really may not be supportive to a lot of the legislation and the things that are going on in Philadelphia. Long story short, Governor Corbett, I think it was at the time, Philadelphia School District asked for $300 million for education. Governor Corbett said, sorry, I don't have $300 million. 3 weeks later, or less, 3 weeks or less, after telling us and the Philadelphia School District, no, we don't have $300 million. He approved $400 million for a brand new prison.
Mm-mm-mm.
And we asked him, how you got money for prisons, but you don't have money for schools?
Right.
They told us prisons create jobs.
Where? For who?
And who dropped the booties to staff the prisons? Guards, wardens, correction officers. Out in Muncie, where it takes 3 hours to
Okay,
get
I
to.
get it. Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it now. Okay, I get it.
But that shows you education. This shows you this is what they've got planned for your children. They got a jail cell for your son or daughter, but they don't have a classroom.
Anisha said school to prison pipeline.
It's real.
Real, real. Like, and I had to replay those words in my head. And I get it. It's absolutely, it's not even a play on words. That's a fact. They do create jobs. Your CEOs, your wardens.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's deep.
Mass incarceration, big business.
That's real deep. So all right, guys. Look, we just been going with the whole the news you can use with Doc. We stopped that and went right into I mean, we just kept on with that and went right to the show. So I'm a give some music. We definitely gonna keep going with the convo, but Doc, his news you can use be so popping. We just went straight into the show. Like it's so much. It's
I
so
mean, it's what we do. I mean, our whole show is news you can use. It's food for
absolutely.
thought. It's flavor in your ear, whatever you want to call it. Anything that can uplift and help our people become more educated to be more proactive, to want to support a community superhero, donate to an organization, reach out and help somebody. This is what it's all about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And with you saying that, like if you guys see at the bottom of the screen, if you have like a your black owned business, if you have your own business, go to Facebook page BYOB Black Your Own Business. That is my Facebook page where we support whoever is. It's a team effort. All black owned businesses. It is a free page. All you do is post your business. That's it. Not your like not your business, like your chitter chatter business. But if you a black entrepreneur, please go to byb.y.o.b. Like bring your own bottle, but it's black your own business. Please post your stuff in there. That is a great way to network. Okay, outside of us doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, go to that Facebook page. If you got an event or a business you want featured on Philly Unfiltered, go to phillyunfiltered215@gmail.com. Like Doc said, we do our community superhero shout outs. And right now we do the ones that we know, that we used to, and they don't always have events. You know what I mean? So if we getting people that's emailing us with events, we want to have y'all up here so people can know what y'all doing, where y'all at. That is the whole basis for Philly Unfiltered, people. So use us, don't abuse us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And also, Anisha said she watched a juvenile institution built 1 block away from the middle school she attended, and it was for kids. So, listen. Who else? Dakota Parker says she doesn't have one yet. Well, but listen, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yes, Anisha, tell her you will get there. You will absolutely get there. And hold on, Doc, because I'm about to get on Miss Dakota Parker. Okay. Because she being real modest and real humble right now. Because this is the young lady she had came on the show when you were taking a little vacation, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
She came on the show. This is the young lady that met George. Okay. Miss Dakota Parker had a conversation with Mr. George Wally Cephas. Miss Dakota Parker will now have a feature in Mr. George Wally Cephas magazine.
Business already up and running. She just don't.
Doc, tell it to her again. Say it again, Doc.
Your business already up and running. You just don't even know.
You ain't got no business. What you mean? And this is
you got purpose. You got passion. You got drive. It's gonna happen.
Listen, this is why we do this. This is exactly why we do this. And when I talk to her and her just telling me this, it be the small thing. So don't say you don't have one yet. You already got one. Listen, Doc and I have known George since last year, and we ain't even in the magazine yet. Okay.
Wait.
Right. So you doing big things, Queen. You know what I mean? So just keep going. Anybody that's watching, that's listening, keep freaking going. We not stopping. We not Philly Unfiltered ain't going nowhere. So as long as we here, keep going, and we got y'all. We got y'all. And that's just it. That's all, period. So.
And Dakota, let me just add this to you. Add this to your spirit. Of everybody we know, we work with, the Philly Unfiltered family is huge. It's deep.
Yep.
And I can't think of nobody in our network that just does one thing. So you say you don't have one yet, or you about to have a couple. This is just the beginning.
Yeah. We deal with multitasking.
Right.
We deal in multitasking. It ain't one thing. Nobody, not even Anisha. Anisha don't have one thing. She's an author. She's a realtor. She come on, George.
You can't finish that in the one thing. You can't. We're just too multi-talented.
Absolutely. And when we introduce you, what's our motto, Doc? We want to introduce your friends to our friends.
Absolutely.
None of our friends have one thing going on.
No, never did, never will.
Nope. And they encourage and they support and they give resources. If they can't help, they will direct you to somebody that can. Y'all have seen it yourself, y'all witnessed it. We've been a part of it. All of that. Like we stay true to what we say. We true to our word. So
Right,
listen, the information is free. All y'all pay is attention.
right. And Dick Curley, you have to realize that you just witnessed something that's a major part of any business. And it's very simple. Power of networking. Power of networking. Because you just never know who has what, who needs what, who is looking for what. So as you move forward, working with George, once your article or however many stuff appears in the magazine, that's going to lead you places that you cannot even imagine.
Nope. 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 And then
Because people will find out about it, they'll
yeah,
want to know more,
yeah.
and it will just grow and grow and grow from there. Now, it's the type of thing where we ain't got a whole bunch of degrees, we ain't got millions of dollars, we got something that's key. If we don't know, trust me, we know somebody that knows.
Absolutely. And that's on facts. That and we have yet to show anything other than that since we started on October 27th, 2020. Doc, I went all the way back. That
All
was
the way back, all
really,
the way back
I
then,
went all the
all the
way
way,
back because
all the way.
I needed that exact info for tonight because when we started, y'all, we started because it was like vote around voting season. It was in October and they started, voting.
Election was coming up, yeah.
The election was coming up, yeah. So, and that's why we started Philly Unfiltered. So it was just like, and we always talk about the midterm election. So it would only make sense to know the day that we started talking about the elections in the midterm elections to actually know and to let everybody know, the newcomers, know that we've been doing this since last year. October 27th was our very first live show on Facebook, the very first one. So we are sticking to our word. We have to, because we don't do fraudulence around here. We purpose filled around here.
And since
That's
last
what we do.
October, we're thankful. We are so appreciated for
Yes,
everybody that's been riding this ride with us from the beginning.
yes,
That it kind of, supported us, shouted us out, told people about us. Philly Unfiltered inspired other people to get websites to kind of do their thing. So whoever gets there first, just hold the door. Say, look, we got some more.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And we have, and people come on here and they'll let you know we have inspired so many different people to either start their own podcast, start their own nonprofit, leaving legacies for their kids and not 9 to 5s. You know what I mean? People are getting more into politics because Doc simplify it for us. It's not a whole bunch of stuff that people don't understand, and that's what makes people shy away from things. But we keep it. We meet people where they at, so we can get to where we need to be,
Absolutely.
and that's just on period. So that's what we do. Oh, you're welcome. Dakota said, "Thank you. You're so very welcome. You're very welcome." And one more thing about that. We introduced you to George, but George gave you a task to write something down. You ain't ask us for no help. You ain't used none of our words. You did exactly what he asked you to do and you sent it to him. So just understand you did that. Don't let nobody take that from you. You did that. You did all of that. All we did was introduce you to him. Everything after that, that was you. That is your victory. We don't own no rights to that victory. We don't want any rights to that victory. And don't let anybody tell you that we're going to come for them or we do. We don't want it. Those are yours because God has given us our own. And that's you. And we've talked, so for a fact that I don't know what God got, but I want what He got for me, not nobody else. And me and Doc, you know, you know what I'm saying. So Shout
the
out.
house, your family.
Absolutely. But so speaking of community superhero shout outs, let's do a couple just to remind you guys of who we speaking of.
Don't know. You need to know. Check the video.
Yeah, bars. Not coming through with the bars. And this is the gentleman we are speaking of right now, Mr. George Wally Cephas. Shout out to him, bro. He's doing big things. And he's only like a year in, well, going into his second year of his nonprofit. And he's just doing so many good things. So shout out to you, bro. This is the magazine that Miss Dakota Parker will be, I believe, featured in. Hurt, Heal, Grow, Healing the Black Community. This is a magazine started by Mr. George Wally Cephas, the founder of Survival to Success. He is the author of 50 Questions of Healing. It is a journal for Black men, women. It is amazing. He is amazing. Always, y'all know who this guy is. Always shout out to Adam McNeil, who just gave away a minivan to a single mom on Mother's Day. So shout out to him. Always and forever. That is the bro. Of course, Mr. Akimbo Bubani Ajuri, he is the coordinator. Oh no, did I call him the coordinator? Lord, I be having the wrong stuff written down. Of the Yahoo Mindset and NPDM. He has every Friday they do like a closed Zoom. He's also a great pillar to the community. They just did something on 52nd and Market with unincarcerated minds when they were giving out food. Shout out to him. We even got babies. 8-year-old Asil Greer. He is the author of I Can Read So I Can Lead. He just got a billboard put up in Philly. So check him out. And the bro Bigger Dre. He's also coming. Speaking of Bigger Dre, eschatology, the PSA is out on human trafficking, sex trafficking. It's a huge spectrum of that, and he's been doing this for years because we, as y'all can see, bring our girls back. We need to talk about this uncomfortable conversation of human trafficking and sex trafficking. And Bigger Dre will be here on the 25th, which is actually National Missing Child Awareness Day on the 25th. And who else we got? Last but not least, we have, I'm sorry, don't delete him, moving too fast. Mr. Anthony Baker Jr. He is the founder of Helping the Homeless. He does a lot of great work in the community. Also, so check those people out. If y'all go see them on Facebook, please remember their names and check them out as usual. Who are we? Yes, Fridays and Sundays. Thank you, Miss Anisha. She is referring to the Yahoo Mindset and NPDM. They are on Fridays and Sundays. If you would like to be invited, because Fridays they're usually closed. So if you go on their page, they will send you a link to be part of the closed Zoom and engage in their amazing conversations. I was on one Friday and it was really, really good. What was the topic about?
Colonialism or genocide?
On Friday, it was Anisha. What was the topic for Friday's meeting that you guys had? I can't remember the topic, but I know that I had went on and we spoke, and it got a little intense. Not in a bad way, but you can tell when people speak of things with purpose. And with a Yahoo Mindset, a lot of things are spoke about, colonialism and, just the Black Panther movements and the things, that have been done to hold us back. Yes, gentrification and genocide. And I posed a lot of questions about, could we call certain things Black genocide if you think about the word genocide? And the word is to, hold on, because I wrote it down. But not to get off topic, but guys, if you want to check them out, the deliberate killing of a large number of people. So I said, if you think about last year, all the Black on Black violence, would that be called Black genocide? Because I don't like to put one thing on one group of folk,
right,
like the N-word. I don't think that just belongs to black people. I think white people made it so relevant and put so much power behind it that we accepted it and it became something that just applied to black people. It affected us so much more. But I apply it to whoever it applies to. If you know the actual word, the origin of the word, even if you know the twisted version, of the word. That's why I use it. Also, Anisha said, notice how when T.I. and Tiny case has overpowered Ephraim's case. Who's Ephraim?
I'm not getting that. I'm not sure.
What were we talking about? Got to bring us back on that because that sounds like a really good comment. But yes, guys, check them out on Fridays and Sundays. They have a really, 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 really good conversations. But Doc, yeah, that conversation had got a little deep because I don't like for people to tell me that I don't, in so many words, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. So I kept getting, well, maybe if you understood the word a little more.
Right.
I understand the word perfectly because I wrote down the actual definition.
Oh, you got it right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it means, but I'm posing a question. If we talking deliberate, the white people ain't had nothing to do with them 500 killings. In a sense, they may have, but we going too far. We talking about right now.
Right.
And then I posed another question because it was like, why are people killing people? I can't answer that because that is trying to know the operation of somebody's mind. I don't know. But what I can say, if you've never killed a person and you get into a situation and you take that person's life, do you blame slavery or do you blame the situation that just happened? If you have taken lives, each life that you've taken, are we blaming it on slavery times and colonialism, or are we blaming it on the person that's doing something in this moment? And if we are, that is a deliberate killing of a group of black people. That's not black genocide?
Okay, absolutely.
I guess because it's black, because I put the word black, and some people feel like black people can't do nothing wrong. Yes, the hell we can. Yes, we can.
Just like that's the elephant in the room where we're not supposed to talk about the black on black crime.
Right.
We can talk about the white cops killing us every day, all day.
Right. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Doc. Sidebar. The guy who had a sex trafficking castle for kids he raped. That's who she was talking about. When we were talking about Bigger Dre. I just got to the comments later. Okay. But thank you. I'm gonna do some research on that because we gonna bring that up when Bigger Dre come as well. Thank you for that resource and that info. I'm definitely gonna look that up. But yeah, Doc, black people, we can't talk about black on black crime. That's too uncomfortable for the black folk.
For real.
It is. And it's so many factors to why it's happening, but and also too, as a young man, I'm trying to get him on the show as well, Doc. I found him on TikTok and he did a TikTok with this lady. She was doing a joke and she was like, somebody tell me why these millennium kids always locked in a room. Like, what you locked in your room for? And he, did like the break-in video and he did this whole spiel on how parents talk to their children and how because they are taught not to cry and when we express ourselves, we talking smart. And Doc, he blew my entire mind. And what's so awesome about him, when I invited him to the show, he inboxed me back and was like, and I gave him my phone number. He was like, my mom said I can't call you. But the show sounds really, really cool. So I said, listen, tell your mother she can call me. She can call me. She can have a conversation with me because I want her to know exactly what's going on and what we're doing. And I just want him here so he can give his side. I think that's what we need. Yes. That wasn't it amazing? Like he broke it all the way down and I really, really wish I could bring it up because I don't think TikTok lets you go to the videos that you saved or anything like that. If they did, I definitely would have brought it up and let y'all see it. But I don't think they're gonna let me. That sucks. Anyway,
And
Doc.
that just goes to another thing. I mean, there's a lot of good information
Mhm.
out there, online, social media, whatever the case may be. And, you know, if you see something like that, that you feel as though what I call a teachable moment, or that person has something you want to know more about, that's what Philly Unfiltered is about.
Mhm.
You know, our programming is, you know, wide, diverse. We have a whole range of people that we bring on the show
Yeah,
from different points of view. And we're sharing the information, and, you know, the Philly Unfiltered family grows from there.
absolutely. Oh,
Okay, y'all, why do these
oh, there it is right there. Hold on. Oh, y'all, if they let me
I think I've seen it.
share my screen. Yup. I found it, Doc.
Okay.
And I'm gonna share this, and then we gonna close this show out. But I need y'all to see this. And we definitely gonna get this man, this gentleman on this show. All right, Doc, let me see if you can see it. Can you see this?
I see it. I can't hear it.
Okay, cause I muted it. I didn't want it to come in. Here we go.
y'all, why do these new age kids want to sit in their rooms all freaking
As a member of the new age of kids of the Black generation, I would love for the older generation to give us a huge apology. Mental health is a huge problem within the Black community, and the older generation seems to not be able to grasp that. So when it is brought up by one of the younger generation, we are told that we are weak. We are told that that is just life. So yes, we stay in our rooms because we feel most comfortable with ourselves, because we don't feel comfortable talking to you because of the things that you have said in the past, because of the things that you equate us being to. You equate us being crazy. You equate our ability to speak up about something to being disrespectful. Oh, and then most of you don't allow us to be sad or to share emotions because we don't have no reason to be sad. So yes, we stay in our rooms. Because not only do we feel most comfortable in our rooms to ourselves, but it is the time that we can share emotions to ourselves and we can speak up about problems to ourselves. Because you don't allow us to. That is why.
Okay, y'all, why
Mm. So that young man right there will be here. I think that everything that he said, we speak about those things. I've had conversations with my friends about those things. I've done those things. I've said those things to my child, and my child likes to stay in his room. So when I heard that, that hit different. So in that, if it hit me like that, we definitely going to replay that and bring him on there so it can touch somebody else's spirit. Because these are one of the reasons why they taking lives. If y'all don't see the disconnect and the anger in him, well, I don't think he's angry, but y'all saw what I saw. Some people don't know how to express that verbally. So I think if you think of the ones that shooting and taking lives, that's what they're saying, but they saying it with their guns and so much more. And it's time for us to shut the hell up and listen to what our kids are saying. And that's just it. Like, I'm so lost for words for like this whole show, like with
But
the
it's also the type of thing where, you know, you just take, you know, look at the household that you grew up in. Look at the household that I grew up in. And look at the household these kids are growing up in today. And in a typical house, very rarely is there a time when the whole family eats together,
Hmm.
whether that be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. No phones, no TV, no social media. People come home and basically becomes a prison. Dad's watching football, mom's cooking dinner, daughter's up making TikTok videos, son's up there playing Grand Theft Auto,
Mm-hmm.
and they might as well be in 4 different states.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when my dad would come home, like, and this comment, it bothers me when I see it. And I always do my research on these social networks and these groups. It was this question that people were posing in their groups. When it comes to eating, who do you serve first, your man or your kids? So Doc, you get to, oh no, my kids eat first. Okay. F that. I don't know, nigga, eat before my kids, and you could tell this what they doing when they text, and they don't know.
Right.
And it don't even be about that. And then you had the ones, oh, well, you ain't got no respect for your kids. That nigga gonna leave you. And it's not even about that.
No.
You playing house. Why can't, because this is how I was raised, we all sat down at the same damn time.
Yep.
My mother was in the kitchen. If we did not help her set the table, we set our asses at the table. That was to her discretion.
Mm-hmm.
If she wanted us to help, then she told us to set the table. If she wanted us to sit our asses down, we sat down and we waited patiently. When my mother brought the food out, yes, my father did get his plate first. Then she went around the table and gave everybody else their plate. She came in with her. She sat down. We prayed. We ate. And my dad asked us about our day. The TV was on. The news was on. It wasn't no love and hip hop. None of that. We didn't even have cell phones to be on back then. So no, it was none of that. And like Dakota said, the houses are divided. Like even now, we can sit. My family sits at the table and we eat together. But Chappelle might be reading something. He likes to read.
Right.
Kids might be doing something on their phone. I might be playing my game on my tablet. It's so easy. It's so easy. But we do have a family day. On Sunday, if you can't contact me, that's my family day, and I will not be interrupted by anybody. That's my boundary. Sunday is my boundary. That's my family day.
Right. That's necessary. That's needed.
Yeah, and I'm not changing it. And we have to do that. Families, we need family days, and it doesn't always necessarily mean to go out somewhere, because we broke as hell university in Philly. Forget all them stimulus checks. If you did right with your stimulus money, you probably broke, because people was holding on and paying their bills and catching up. So if you're not, shout out to you with your saving money, having some. But, but if you are, if it was done for this is for y'all. Yes. Those from a stimulus. Those stimulus folk that still got coin.
That's what they're supposed to do with it.
Yes, that did what y'all are supposed to do with it. Thank y'all very much. We applaud y'all and we thank y'all for that. But so it's 10:29, guys, and we gonna set up to close out the show, because I know Doc gotta go to work tomorrow. So really quick, Thursday, our show, we will have Mr. Jeru Lawson. He's been here before. And I haven't figured out a title for this show yet. And we're also going to have a Black entrepreneur. He is a landscaper. And he did some time in jail. And he has his own business, but he can't put his name on his own business because he did time in jail. So we've invited Mr. Jeru Lawson to show him how to get his name on his sugar, honey, and iced tea. So I think it's gonna be an awesome show, just to talk about the struggles of getting out of jail, being in jail. We have a few community superheroes that did some time, but they're doing great things.
Oh, absolutely. You never know it.
You would never know it. You would never know it by the way that they move, and you would never know unless you listen to their story.
Right.
So We ain't gonna say no names either. Y'all do some research on these community superheroes and figure out who we talking about. But Thursday is going to be a great show. We got some more Black entrepreneurs coming in. It's men. It's a men's show. Doc,
We
you want
can
to
do
find you a co-host? You want a man?
it. No,
You know-
we're good. We ain't going nowhere.
I could do the technical stuff.
No,
You
no,
want like a
yeah. You go another further.
oh, that's right, Doc. But yeah, guys, but for real, thank y'all for listening and staying with us. And I hope everybody wrote down all the valuable information that Doc was giving with the news you can use and the up and coming events. Princes of Power, last but not least, Princes of Power is coming up on their 1-year anniversary. If y'all don't know what Princes of Power is, that is my nonprofit that I started last year that I paid for. It is paid for. And we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary, June 23rd. And we about to party, Doc.
All right.
We
all right.
planning this event like it's going to be so crazy. We need vendors, we need speakers, we need performers. So if y'all want to be at this event, fully unfiltered, Princes of Power, Millennium Candy and Give sponsoring all of this, email is fullyunfiltered215@gmail.com. So all that being said, Doc,
Absolutely.
we are about to end this. Again, we thank y'all. We hope that everything we said inspired you to do more for the community. And I found a song, and I hope they don't block it, that I wanted to play. And I love this song. It's by a young lady named Rebecca. And I actually rewrote her song. And I'm looking for somebody to perform it for me at this event. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna share this screen and I'm gonna play this song. I'm gonna share the video so they won't we got one more comment coming in. Who we got? Yes, Anisha, good night. We love you so much.
We back.
Doc, do you see this new picture Miss Anisha got?
Oh, whoo. I'm like, who that?
Yeah, you see her? Oh my,
She fancy.
beautiful. Y'all see this? This is the picture of a professional queen that has written a book and now is a realtor. This that professional. You listen, you got to dress for the job and she dressed to impress. You look beautiful. You know, and it is thank you for just holding us down. But yeah, guys, we are going to do, no wonder I can't get to my banner. I'm still in community superheroes. So I'm gonna share this. Oh nope, one more time. So guys, we will definitely see y'all on Thursday. I hope y'all enjoyed the song. Again, I'm looking for somebody to sing this song for me. I rewrote the lyrics. So I hope y'all like it. I hope we inspired you to do something great in your community. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And good night.
Aura Records. Yeah. Rebecca for the boys, them finna the area.
Doctor.
Put the finger down if Corona done, they make you catch conti. Yeah. Put the finger down if you miss your man and you're fine, baby. Oh, hey. Put the finger down if you don't feel wait for Corona to freeze. Yeah. Put the finger down if you want to party after party. Oh, hey. Put the finger down if you miss solo show where they stand for streets. Yeah. Put the finger down if you miss the life and the things you did.